So let's talk for a minute about your fight with Paige VanZant. I think when people think about Rose, they have to think like about this incredible fight with Paige VanZant. When you look back on that fight now, what goes through your mind?
That was just me at my 100%, 100% focused, prepared version of myself. I was definitely in my element, and I was just, no matter what obstacles came in my way, I was ready for it, and nothing was going to stop me. So, it didn't matter whether it had nothing to do with Paige. It was all, it was all me being in control of myself and me being me. And it was a great moment. So, every true fighter has one of those, performances where they were just 100% satisfied with, everything that they did. And that was definitely one of the higher ones in my career.
What was going through your mind in that first round and really throughout the whole fight when she really started to pour blood? I mean, what does that do to you psychologically in the fight? Does it make you want to be more aggressive and try to finish her off, or does it bring up some other feelings?
I didn't actually really pay attention to the blood. It's not like I didn't notice it or anything like that, but it didn't really even cross my mind. I was just I was just on autopilot. I didn't even notice the blood. Now, I think after, I've been in a fight before where there was a lot more blood than that, in a kickboxing fight where I kept punching the girl in the face and she kept bleeding, and I didn't really pay attention to it until I eventually, in the second round, I started to smell her blood, and I started to see it all over my arm, and that's when I started to notice. I think Paige wasn't bleeding enough for me to notice that much.
There were a couple of times in that fight when you came really close to finishing her, in the second rounds or in the third rounds. You had her in a rear naked choke at the end of one of the rounds. You had her in an arm bar where her arm contorted in some really awkward way. What were you thinking when you couldn't quite finish her in those earlier rounds?
I guess I should say that one of the times I did notice that the blood was there was when I had her in a rear naked choke, and it was kind of slipping around on her neck. But I just stayed calm in those moments. I knew that there was going to be opportunities to finish her multiple times in the fight, but I also knew that she was extra tough and that she was extra flexible. One thing that I noticed before the fight happened was in her pictures, her arm was very her elbow was very bendy. So I thought if I get her I even had that thought before the fight happened, where get her in an arm bar, it might not work right away. And I also have Tisha Torres to thank for that experience in our first fight, because I got her in an arm bar and I didn't get her right away. So it was kind of demoralizing, and I had to learn that early on that even if you get close to finishing somebody, it's not over until it's over, until the ref raises your hand, and even then you still have to be prepared for anything. So for me, it's just kind of an experience level that I'm at where I don't get discouraged nearly as easily.
Was that the first time that you'd ever fought 5 full rounds in MMA?
Yep. No, that was the first time.
How did you get in such good condition for that?
Well, there's multiple different things that I did. One of kind of the more unique things that I did preparing for that fight in specific was I chased my dog Mishka around for 5-minute rounds every once in a while, almost every other day at the park, because she's a really fast dog and there's no way you're gonna catch her. So it's kind of like that old Rocky style training mentality of just trying to catch the chicken and stuff. That was one thing that I did preparing for her. But I really focused on my cardio a lot because, one, she was known for pushing the pace in her previous fights. But then, two, I remember being in a title fight before and gassing out and not preparing for 5 rounds, only coming off the Ultimate Fighter, preparing for 2 rounds, maybe 3, and transitioning that from a 5-round fight was very difficult for me. So I had to make sure that that I prepare for that this time and not fuck up like I did before.
So how good did it feel in that 5th round to finally get the stoppage?
I don't know. It felt good, I guess. I thought it just kind of was, inevitable. I felt like, it was just like the icing on the cake. I feel like if it were to have gone to a decision, I don't know how much less satisfying that would have been. Obviously, getting a rear naked choke on somebody, I think, is my favorite submission because it's like the ultimate, dominating of somebody. When you get somebody's back and you choke them out, it's just, you've made so many mistakes before then. But I felt like I've, I don't know. I just felt like that was kind of expected to happen. Like I just knew it wasn't like anything to like jump for joy. I had been dominating her for so many rounds before that it was just only a matter of time. And, luckily I got it within 5 rounds, but if it was just a timeless fight, it just would have happened in as much time as it needed to happen in.